Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, as we take a second to peer into Universe 14 and witnessing an extraordinary battle unfold, it looks as though the real battle is only just beginning, with Universe 14's God of Destruction now finally facing off against Ultra Ego Vegeta in a clash of titanic forces. It's a critical moment for Vegeta, especially since he's going up against a very formidable destroyer. A swift triumph is essential for Vegeta, because failure to achieve this could lead to a catastrophic end for our valiant warrior that will also likely come with extremely dire consequences.
As our story now continues, following the initial events of Vegeta being shown having to finally reveal his Ultra Ego form to Universe 14's God of Destruction Cobris, as with Cobris now seemingly taken back by the idea of Vegeta having to wield such power, was when Cobris then went on to respond, "Your transformation holds the unmistakable signature of a destroyer's energy. So how was a mortal like yourself able to achieve such a feat?" Cobris questions. "You don't appear as though you'd want to take Beerus' place as Universe 7's destroyer after him, so how did you go and achieve this? For you stand there cloaked in the power of destruction, a power that I thought was reserved for deities only. Has Beerus grown so incompetent that he's starting to share our sacred energies with the likes of you?" With Vegeta having to question, "What's wrong, destroyer? You appear to be in a bit of disbelief, Lord Cobris, but yes, through Lord Beerus' guidance, I was able to discover and enter into the realm of the gods, and now finding myself wielding the power of a destroyer just like you. And now that I have drawn this power out against you, you will slowly begin to see the difference between what I was and what I currently am," Vegeta continues. "For it's very simple, destroyer. Training with Lord Beerus wasn't just a lesson, it was an awakening. The power of Ultra Ego is not merely about destruction, but it's about enhancing it with a Saiyan's pride. For I am not the warrior that I was a few moments ago, for I am something far greater." And so what exactly was it that you said before engaging against your monster just now? Vegeta went on to then further question. "Something along the lines that you yourself would fight me if I found a way to survive, didn't you? Well, I don't see your three-headed monster around anymore, do you? Which only now means that it's time for you and I to finally engage, God of Destruction. And for your sake, I hope you're ready, because once we engage, you will start to see for yourself little by little on why you've made the ultimate mistake in snuffing me away from my universe. Tell me, is this true?" Cobras went on to then further question. "Was the Saiyan truly able to bridge the power of a God of Destruction and converging it with his own Saiyan nature?" With Angel Merlith responding, "From what I can tell, it doesn't appear like Vegeta is lying about being able to wield the power of a destroyer, my lord. So then it's true. A part of the power that I was able to sense coming deep within him was in fact a reflection of this very form that stands before us. No matter then," Cobras went on to continue, "for I vow not just to break you, Vegeta, but to grind you down until you remember your place. I will expose the limits of your borrowed power, and in doing so reveal the supremacy of my own against you as I grind you beneath the weight of Lord Beerus' failure. And to stand before me and claim mastery over the power of destruction will be something that you will suffer extremely for. I will dismantle your arrogance, shatter this ultra ego of yours, and leave you quivering in the wake of my unmatched powers, Saiyan. Mark my words, you have no idea what you're up against here, Saiyan. Those are some very bold choice of words there, Destroyer, but I welcome your threats with open arms as I want to see on just how powerful you truly are, as I doubt that you'll be any different than what I expect for you to be in battle anyways, Destroyer. So, are we going to do this or not? Vegeta went on to crack his knuckles by slowly approaching, because aside from your tribe of weak little garden reptiles, I want to see what the big bad himself and the leader of this universe is truly all about. So shall we then? As Cobras further went on to point out by then shouting, do not presume that you've reached the truest level of a destroyer through this so-called ultra ego form of yours, Saiyan, for you remain blind to the true forces at play here, especially since this here is my universe and not yours. Now go, my faithful warriors, go and grind that mortal into the ground until there is nothing left that remains of his corpse, my minions. Immobilize this Saiyan and bring him to me, to which as Cobras' minions were now shown doing so, it would only now appear as though Vegeta had other ideas in mind, as Vegeta went on to then respond, as expected, you send your underlings to go and engage with me instead of finding the courage to go and do it yourself. Well, that's fine by me, because they'll all have to learn the hard way then. So, I want you to know that you sent your men out here to die, Destroyer. Now watch. To which seconds later, with Cobras' minions now shown attacking and converging in the middle, with Vegeta all of a sudden being shown vanishing, that was when Angel Merlith went on to respond, and it's quite fascinating, Lord Cobras. Vegeta's adaptation to his Ultra Ego form has not only enhanced his power, but his speed has increased tenfold as well. And from what it looks like, he appears to be luring your forces into a snare with you as the intended primary target, my lord. And those orbs that hover in the center of it all, Cobras went on to then respond, those are orbs of destruction. So the Saiyan knows how to weaponize Hakai, does he? A feat that doesn't come easy to those with similar power, but yet the Saiyan reveals that he knows how to use it too. As before you know it, as soon as Vegeta had gone as far as to reappear with Cobras' minions being shown having to stare off into Vegeta's Hakai energy balls, was when Vegeta then went on to respond, it was like I said, why waste my time fighting off foot soldiers when I can fight against the ringleader himself? And as a parting gift, for I want to ensure you that none of your warriors will be walking away with their lives intact after engaging against me. Because why have any of them continue to try and get in my way of fighting you when I can just destroy them? Why even try and play by the rules when you and your gang of lizards continue to go and break them? In which, in a vicious act, as soon as Vegeta was from that point then shown snapping his fingers and completely having to destroy all of Cobras' minions, was when Angel Merlith then went on to chime in, very interesting, and if I may offer a word of caution for you, Lord Cobras, as Vegeta's command over his destructive power appears to indeed be absolute, as if you truly intend to engage, then consider the approach of attrition. Save your lethal intent for another day, so this way you can set the stage for your secret technique to be used against him, all at the opportune moment in seeing if your plan will work. Underestimating Vegeta's command over his destructive power would be a grave error, even though you are much stronger, my lord, as Cobras then went on to respond, this mortal would be out of his mind if he truly believes that his mastery over destruction would be greater than mine, but now I see as to what you mean. Then I will wait until the time is right to use it, and so now go, Orel. Punish that mortal and bring him down to his knees for what he continues to do, to which as the elite Orel was then shown doing so, it was only at the same time while Vegeta was also making his way towards Orel where Vegeta then went on to respond, and then there was one. Getting in my way of fighting off your god of destruction earlier along with laying your hands on me was a mistake. A mistake that I can assure you that you will not live long enough to regret. To which in stunning fashion, once again, as soon as Vegeta from that point was then shown shown having to punch a hole right through Orel's body was when Vegeta then went on to continue, and before you go and join your group of blood-sucking lizards in the grave, I thought I'd go and make this one a bit more personal since you were the one who were mainly getting in my way earlier. I seriously don't know on why you decided that sending these bums to try and stop me was going to work, but with this one now out of my hair and soon to join the others who came before him, this just now leaves us with just you and me. Isn't that right, God of Destruction? As it looks like I've passed your stupid little test with flying colors after all, am I right? Now here you go, Vegeta went on to shout by throwing Orel's body towards Cobris. I believe this one here belongs to you, so now go and take him back to where he belongs, God of Destruction. Now quit wasting my time, to which upon Cobris now being shown having to tap Orel in the spine as his body was sent flying towards him, by no means was Universe 14's God of Destruction willing to put up with any of this, as Cobris then went on to respond, "How utterly disappointing of you mortals to fail in attempting to go and stop one man from breaching the line and reaching me. Leave it up to me to go and show you worms on how it's truly done then from beyond the grave. You are all pathetic. Let those who are able to see the scope of the battle that is being waged on this planet witness your eradication. For I will go and handle this myself as I usually do. Now get out of my face and don't ever return. Hakai, now die!" That destroyer's just as ruthless by erasing one of his own on the spot like that as I thought, Vegeta went on to then say to himself. "Well, no more. I'm done playing your stupid games in this universe. You wouldn't be the first god that I've battled, but I'll make sure that you're the last, Destroyer. You wanted to gauge my power, right? Well, come and gauge it then, Destroyer." To which upon Vegeta now being shown having to engage with Cobris, it was only just as quickly as Cobris was shown having to defend himself in putting his arm up to block Vegeta's punch, where Cobris then went on to respond, "Impressive, Saiyan. Your display of using the power of a destroyer is quite commendable, but you and I both know that you won't beat me, and so why don't you just accept your place in this universe, mortal? I can show you the boundless abyss of power that you seek if you only submit yourself to Universe 14, Vegeta. Why do you continue to resist when you know that in your heart this is where your calling is and not Universe 7? For the power that you've embraced is but the first step down a long path that I've walked down for eons, Vegeta. And so now yield to my authority and I will teach you the ways of absolute annihilation itself. But continue to resist, however, and I will ensure that I break you in ways which not even your darkest nightmares can imagine. You honestly expect for me to abandon my own universe and sell myself along with my allegiance short in exchange for more power? I'd rather be destroyed in battle than ever bend my knee to the likes of you, for your offer holds no value to me, Destroyer. To abandon who I am and where I come from is to surrender my very identity, Vegeta continues, which I will never allow to happen. So you might be a force to be reckoned with in this universe, but just know that I'm not afraid of you. With Cobras then responding, "Then your fate has been sealed, Vegeta. A fate where you will inevitably come to the harsh realization once you start to see with your very own eyes that challenging my status as a god of destruction will only lead you down one path, and that is the path to your own self-destruction, Saiyan. You want a demonstration? Then so be it." To which upon Cobras now being shown having to sideswipe Vegeta's leg was when Cobras then went on to continue, "I'll go and make you see, Vegeta. I'll force you to open your eyes and make you see the difference in understanding how weak your power truly is against mine, mortal. You should have accepted my offer when it was presented, Saiyan, for your pride will not save you against me. Now give in to the hatred that I sense brewing within your spirit, Vegeta, for I could offer you so much more if you swallow your pride and accept this universe as your new home with I as your new god." In which within that very moment, moment as Cobras from that point was then shown tail whipping Vegeta before stomping him on down was when Cobras then went on to continue, and if you continue to resist, then I'll just continue to crush your bones beneath the weight of my mighty power until you finally come to your senses. But until then, show me what Beerus was able to teach you. And if you truly value your god of destruction the way you say that you do, then show me the power that he was able to help you achieve, Vegeta. Why would I deceive you, Saiyan? Do I look like Beerus to you because you're doing the exact same thing that he would do by resisting the inevitable? But then, it was just within the nick of time as Vegeta had now found himself quickly moving out of the way and avoiding Cobras' stomp, where Vegeta then went on to respond, "Then you'll have to destroy the very essence of who I am because I offered myself up once before in exchange to surpass Kakarot, and I will never make that same mistake ever again. I would rather fall in battle with my convictions intact than serve as a puppet in your vendetta against Lord Beerus. And I'd sooner embrace the end than ever be shown shackled by your side, Lord Cobris. My power is my own, forged through the fires of my own will." As even then within that very moment, despite with Vegeta being shown firing multiple energy blasts back down onto the ground, was when from out of nowhere, that was when Universe 14's God of Destruction Cobras was quickly shown having to dash on up, as Cobras went on to then respond, "You still don't get it, do you, Vegeta? There is no escape from here on, no matter how hard you decide to try and fight me. Just look at how feeble these so-called energy attacks are. Is this what Beerus has been teaching you? For you have only just begun to taste the surface of what true destroyer power feels like, Vegeta, as there is a monster that I am able to sense deep within you just clawing to break free," Cobras continues. "Surrender to it, Saiyan, surrender to it and let this Ultra Ego be its vessel, as then and only then shall I see the true extent of your destructive capabilities. And while your potential remains shackled by your very own restraints, you will never find the power needed to best me," Cobras proceeded by kicking Vegeta on down by responding. "Wash away the sins that you carry on behalf of your destroyer and let my words flow through your veins like venom. And I vow to uphold Universe 14's honor by ensuring that we are never erased ever again. And you, Vegeta, will be one of my many tickets in making sure that we remain," Cobras continues. "Even if it means that I must tear you apart in order for me to rebuild you into my image, then so be it. Little do you know on what truly lies in store for you, my dear old puppet," Cobras went on to then utter. "But in order for you to fall in line, I first must break you before reprogramming you. As Beerus will not have the last laugh, especially once he sees what I've done to his very own residents. Why continue to hide the monster that lives within your soul when you could embrace its very nature and become what you've always wanted to be, mortal? Open your eyes or die," to which upon Cobras was then shown firing a gigantic blast down below. That was when Cobras then went on to continue. "I tried warning you that this was going to happen, and here you boast yourself as being an equal to a god. You better go and think of something fast, mortal," to which upon as Vegeta was then shown doing, as within the nick of time, as soon as Vegeta from that point was then shown creating a barrier and completely having to deflect Cobras' blast, was when Vegeta then went on to utter, "You're going to have to try a lot better than that if you expect to blast me into an Oblivion Destroyer, for I won't stand to be blown to pieces in a foreign universe." "And what's this?" Cobras went on to then question. "A barrier forged through destructive energy? So, it looks like there is more to his ability to utilize a destroyer's power after all. And if these are the kinds of tricks that this mortal is going to play, then my warm-up with him is hereby over. Yes, this creature will become Universe 14's greatest assets by the time this day is through. And here I expected for a god of destruction to hit much harder than that. Or maybe I'm simply not as weak as you assumed I'd be," Vegeta went on to then respond. "Your power is a bit underwhelming, Lord Cobras, cause I'm just warming up and you're already struggling to keep up with my Saiyan strength. But deep down, I know that there's much more to you than what you're showing me here, and so unless you want to quit the act now, then either show me what you can really do or send me home, Vegeta continues. Either way, I'm not going to stop until one of us is the last fighter standing, and I don't plan on going down so easily, especially not now, with Cobris then having to respond, well done, Vegeta. For a mortal, your efforts thus far are very commendable, but I want you to understand that this is but a small fraction of my true power. I've barely begun to tap into my strength, but maybe now you've shown me that I have a good enough reason to go and actually try for once. But if you think that you'll be able to keep this act up for much longer, Cobris continues, then you are a fool, for this battle, you see, was over before it even began, and you're blissfully unaware of the results. You're putting up a good fight, Vegeta, however, don't get carried away just yet, for we aren't done. I see great potential within you that I am just dying to awaken, but in time, you will soon understand and come to find out on exactly why I am the way I am, along with why I am so very feared by many, mortal. Or maybe you won't if I decide to snuff your life away before it's done. But either way, Beerus is extremely undeserving of having a mortal like you represent him, when you can instead come and represent me. You may not see it, but I certainly see it, Vegeta, which was why I went and brought you here to begin with. As Vegeta then went on to respond, talking in riddles isn't going to throw me off my game, nor will it win you the day. So I don't know what the heck it is that you're babbling about, but I'm ready for more, Destroyer. So what's it going to be? Are you going to come down here to me, or do you want me to fly up there and come to you? Because it doesn't matter to me either way, for by the end of this day, I'll go and show you on exactly why I remain as Lord Beerus's best student. So are you ready for more? Cause I sure am. As Cobris went on to then crack his knuckles by then responding, let's go and save that for a surprise, for my focus isn't about who will strike first, but more of who will be standing last. And since we've agreed to skip forward and move away from these little warm-ups of ours, it's time that I start to show you on just how dangerous I can truly be, and why I am among a very few line of gods of destruction that is one of the most feared. As it was only right then and there now during that moment where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 14 Saga Manga chapter number 14 special, then comes to a close. Now this is it, with Universe 14's God of Destruction now making the claim that yes, there appear to be levels to destruction that Cobris and other destroyers know about that Vegeta perhaps doesn't, which interestingly enough had led to Cobris wanting to sucker Vegeta in accepting the fact that if he were to kneel to Cobris, that Cobris from that point would take Vegeta under his wing in teaching him the secrets to destruction. But with Vegeta now refusing and wanting to go down his own path by not being bullied even by a destroyer, one can only imagine as to what is about to take place coming up next, to which you guys don't want to miss out on, in which all of this and so much more will be made available right now on my Patreon for those of you out there that are members to see. So if you would not only want to support the content that you see on this channel, but also gain exclusive access and additional content, as well as my soundtracks, RPNGs, and so much more, then I do encourage for you guys to become a member of my Patreon today, patreon.com/UnrealEntGaming, to where I will go ahead and leave that link located down in the description box below and pinned comment section below as well, because not only are we about to see Cobris' battle with Vegeta intensify that much more, but also witness the battle involving Beerus and Rino also intensify just as much, as there are going to be a few things that are going to be picking up within the story relatively quickly, and I can't wait to show you guys as to what that is. So again, I hope you guys stay tuned to find out what's going to happen next, because you don't want to miss out on any of this. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Thank you all so much for your time, to which once more, if you also just so happen to be new to the channel, then I do encourage for you guys to head on over and smash that subscribe button, on top of giving this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below. Tune back in for more. Thank you all so very much for always having to be here, and with all that being said, I will be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a great day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. high-quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.